Oh, when the blues go marching in. Oh, when the blues go marching in. Oh, I want to be in that number when the blues go marching.
Aloha blues fans. Welcome to the Hawaii Blues Fan Show, the program that is by a fan, for the fans, and about the fans. I'm the Hawaii Blues fan. I'm the roving reporter. And we're bleeding blue with you. Well, roving reporter, today's kind of a sad day for me.
Yep, I agree.
This past Friday, a lady that I knew has my aunt, Betty Jean.
Beautiful woman.
After a long illness passed. This is her in the red. I hadn't seen her for a very, very long time.
Almost 35 years.
This past March, I was back in St. Louis and was able to take a trip down there.
She was from Ripley, Mississippi.
Tell Sue Love and GW that my hearts go out to both of you guys. I know your mom's in a better place,
and your wife.
I am honored and privileged to have been able to take that trip down to see her. And just so you know, I will never forget her squeak, her squeal, when she seen me for the first time in over 35 years.
Same here.
So I'm going to take a quick moment of silence for my Aunt Betty Jean. So, Hawaii Blues fan, what's on the agenda today? What are we going to talk about? Roving Reporter, today we're going to talk about that debacle against the Sharks where they found their bite. Hey, Hawaii Blues fan, I got a question for you. So, why are we doing this show? What's the reason behind it? I've been getting that question a lot when I'm out on the street and I'm out there roving. What's the purpose of doing the show? You work a lot. You're doing this almost every other day. Why are we doing it? You know, Roving Reporter, that's a really good question. Why am I doing this show? For a long time, I was a fan alone.
Yeah, we were.
I left St. Louis in 1987 to join the Navy.
Wow, a long time ago.
Had a deep love for the blues then.
Yes, we did.
But my career took me all over the place. And back in the late 80s, early 90s, there wasn't the internet. There wasn't easy ways to get your news.
Snail mail.
In fact, during the Gulf War, I remember reading scrolls that we got a news on. And that was the only way I could find out about what was going on in the world of hockey. And when Brett Hull scored his 50 and 50, I kept that scroll. I lost it now, but I had it in my locker for a long time. And a few years ago, I kind of discovered these groups, and I have met some amazing people.
Yeah, we have.
Through the groups and my trip to Vegas and that. And I started realizing how many great fans there are out there.
Oh, there's a ton of them.
This show is my connection to the fans.
Yeah.
And that's why I'm doing it. That's why I do about the fan segment. I want to connect with the fans of the Blues. This is the hockey team that I love, that I know you love, and that the fans love. And that's why I'm doing this show.
You know, that's some really good reasons. And sorry to interrupt you there, but I had the question and thought I should ask it.
Well, that's okay. It was a good question. So before we get started, I want to say one thing. You know, I recently lost my aunt, and I kind of just memorialized her a little bit. If you've lost someone that was a blues fan and you'd like to memorialize them, I'd be honored to do that for you.
Yeah, we would.
All I ask is that you send me an email. My contact information is right here.
Yeah, it's covering me.
Contact me. Tell me about them. Give me a little bit of history so I have something to say, and I would gladly do that.
Yeah,
that's what this show is about. This show is about the fans.
Yep, I agree with that.
And now, let's talk about the game against
the fan segment, right?
Holy crap! Did they find their bite?
Yeah. Ouch! Ouch! Ouch!
Bad. And Dell. Oh my goodness, where'd this guy come from? He stood
standing
on his head. I mean, he point blank stopped Tereshchenko twice.
Howitzer
if not
shot.
3 times. I mean, beautiful open opportunities, and he just stopped them. First period was not bad.
Nope, not at all.
First period was actually pretty good.
I agree.
Then came the second period, and you know, all hell broke loose. I gotta say, you know, hey announcer guys, you know, stop talking about guys that haven't scored. You kept talking about Carlson. Carlson hasn't scored. Carlson hasn't scored. Carlson hasn't scored. Well, guess what Carlson did?
He scored.
Yeah, he did. And then
a rocket.
Bernie You said it yourself. It's just a stat.
Yeah.
The Blues are plus 10 in the second period, and the Kings are minus 11. Well, that ain't true anymore.
No, it's not.
Don't harp on the stats.
Nope.
You jinxed us.
Yep.
You absolutely jinxed. That was the worst second period I think we played all year.
Yeah, I agree with that.
I think it was the worst period we played all year. That was just horrible.
Debacle.
Horrible, man.
Yeah.
I don't know what else to say. You know, it looked like we played a lot of games and we were discombobulated, and
Time to forget about it and moved on.
Yep. It was not a good game. Not at all. Let's forget about it and move on. Well, that's enough about the Sharks. Let's talk about the upcoming game against the LA
Queens,
Kings.
as Shaq called them. Kind of.
Yeah. This is kind of an interesting situation. Right now, the Kings are the only team in the league that have a worse record
That's so
than we do.
sad. So sad.
Yeah, and it's not even, I mean, they're bad. But not only that, we play the Kings tonight, and then in 2 days when we face Nashville,
You mean
the Blues do
Trashville?
something that I don't think has happened very often. I don't know where to find this stat, and I don't think anybody else has said it, but they're going to face, depending on what happens tonight, they face the last place team in the league, and then when they face Nashville, Nashville could be or should be the best team in the league.
Really? That's interesting.
So they'll go from playing the worst to the best. I mean, that's kind of an interesting
Could be murder,
situation.
actually. Could be really a bad situation.
Kings are, they're
It's a winnable
in
game,
trouble.
though.
We're in trouble. Could be a pretty interesting game.
It's winnable.
Not sure if it'll be Quick versus Allen. I think I thought Quick was injured, but I'm not sure. I do apologize.
I think the Blues will beat the Kings.
But
4-2.
So I got to have a
What's
question
your
for you,
question?
Hawaii Blues fan. So how do you keep up with the games, especially the home games? What gets you motivated, or what gets you knowledgeable about what's going on with our Blues for the home
Good
games?
question. And I got my copy of it right here. It's Game Time. This is one of the only fan-run newspapers. I think it's the longest fan-run newspaper. Been out there since like the early 90s. If you want to get a copy, contact gtbradley@gmail.com. I'll put his email up. One of my favorite sections is the referee stats.
Very interesting.
Yep.
Game Time is a great
Yeah,
read.
you cut me off again.
Well, I guess it's time to talk about the fan. Your favorite
Yeah, it is
part,
my
right?
favorite part.
Do I get the help?
No, you know what? I don't think you measure up today, so you need to disappear. And now for our third segment, the About the Fan segment. This is, like a roving reporter said, one of my favorite subjects. Now that he's gone. I get to celebrate you, the fans, and I love this. Today's fan is also a big fan and friend of the show. This gentleman has been a season ticket holder for over 22 years, and told me he refused to let him go, and has an interesting story how he started following the Blues. Today's fan of the game is Brian Goodhart. Brian started following the Blues while I was in Anchorage, Alaska, actually. At one time we had a minor league affiliate up there. He kind of caught the bug while he was there, and when he came back to St. Louis, he just jumped on board. And Brian's one of those fans that really doesn't have a favorite player, but he has like a flavor of the month player. Like, he follows the whole team, but there's a player that he likes here and there. So the player that he's following right now is Oscar Sundqvist. Sonny D. That's a good player to follow, and if things keep up, he's going to be the meme king. And I'll kind of show you why here in a second. This one's funny, but I don't want to take Brian's time away. Brian, I'm very glad that you're a fan of the show. I think it's wonderful. Thanks for all your support. And Brian, congratulations. You're today's fan of the game. I hope you bring the Blues a win. Good fan of the game. And now we're going to move into the tattoo of the game. And this is another one of mine that just good story behind it. So these are two tattoos, and these two beauties are on Austin Renfro. Austin told me that he got these back in Guam, and he doesn't remember the name of the artist or even the shop. But he was in the Navy, and this is what we call a Westpac tattoo. And it's beautiful. I like both of them. He's got the blue note there, and then the skull and cross, the skull and hockey sticks. It's just, oh wow! I mean, these are two good tattoos. You know, whoever the artist was did it great. And you know, I love showing this stuff. You know, I really do. You guys got to keep sending me your tattoos. I'm searching the groups for them, but help me out if you want to get your tattoos on. If you know somebody's got tattoos, put them on there. Help me out. Brian, this is a good one. I have a feeling that this will be in the top 10 also. I look forward to showing more. And Brian, thank you. And congratulations for having the tattoo of the game. And now as we move into our pet of the game, we have another first. Well, this is not the first for the person on, but for the pet. After I showed Jason Zeal's tattoo, I was asked to ask him about his pets. And he says, yeah, I got some. And he sent me some pictures. And the picture was of this guy. I didn't know what that was. I had to look it up. It's a sugar glider. And his name is Louie, after our mascot. They're like a squirrel. They're a marsupial, meaning that they have their babies in a pouch, and they're from Australia and that area. It's beautiful, it really is, but when I first saw it, it reminded me of the movie Flight of the Navigator. The little guy that he's petting that lost his planet. Yeah, looks exactly like him to me. But you know what? It's a blues pet, and I love it. If you got a pet like this, send it my way. And Jason, you got a couple more that I'm going to show later in other episodes. But this guy wins right now. I think he's of my pets. This is the most interesting, and he's probably my number one right now. And that doesn't take from any other of the pets, but it's a sugar glider. Come on, it's a sugar glider. That's badass. Well, as I get ready to bid you adieu and hope the Blues dethrone or decrown the Kings tonight, I want to say thank you for watching and thank you for supporting the show. And just like the Blues have gold, the Hawaii Blues fan has some goals. What I'd like to do is by the end of November, which is quickly approaching, I'd like to hit 10,000 minutes of watch time. I'd like to have, make sure I say this right, 1,000 views, or no, pardon me, 5,000 views. I already got 1,000 views. I'd like to have 5,000 views. I'd like to be over 250 likes, and I'd like to get my subscribers over 100. I'm going to post up where I'm currently at, and when I hit those numbers, I think the Hawaii Blues Fan Show is going to go from level 0 to level 1. And I need your help doing it, and I appreciate it. I love all your support. This is a fun show. I hope you've noticed the improvements and the upgrades that we've done. And, when we go on here, just remember that I am definitely bleeding blue with you. And just like little Ari says, let's go Blues. We're bleeding blue with you. And Kat, take it away.
When the Blues go marching in, oh, when the Blues go marching in, oh, I want to be in that number when the Blues go marching in. Oh, when the Blues go marching in, oh, when the Blues go marching in, I want to be in that number when the Blues go marching